Hi everyone, my name is Paritosh Sharma. I'm currently at the Sagoon headquarters right behind me in New Delhi, India. And of course, as everyone already knows, that Sagoon is literally reimagining how social networking really would happen in the world going forward with three fundamental pillars, which is connect, share, and earn. Today, I am joined by Yuvraj. Now, the interesting bit about this conversation is that Yuvraj actually did not know that we are going to pull him up. Yuvraj is of course one of our investors. He's right now driving, as you can see in his car. He's in the UK, so hence the headphones, of course. So Yuvraj, welcome to the Investor of the Day show.
Thank you very much, Paritosh.
So I invite you today to, of course, come forward and invest in Sagoon's mini IPO that is live right now. Now I'm joined by Yuvraj, who is, as I introduced, one of our earliest investors. Yuvraj, this is going to be a very conversation, clearly because you are in a totally different. You are in the UK right now. Let me first ask you this. For everyone else who does not know you yet, how about your introduction, that we begin with? What is it that you're doing today?
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much, Paritosh. I've just parked my car, so thank you for being patient.
Sure.
Well, so if I introduce myself, I don't want you to cry. My journey is a very, very tough journey, but I'm a fighter, so I never give up. I was born in Assam, India. And when I was 10 years old, due to the violence there, ethnic violence,
Sure.
I had to, basically my family took me away. But the disastrous situation actually turned into a boon for me. So I've completed my education in Nepal, and then I ended up in UK at the age of 21.
Sure.
Since then, life is very tough. I've kept fighting, finished my education. And I was graduated in e-commerce and technology from University of East London. And then I settled here, and I'm living happily here.
Interesting. That's phenomenal, Yuvraj, because after all that you have gone through, and you rightly said that you are really a fighter in life. I think that's a big message for absolutely everyone who's related to Sagoon. That large things in life are created by people who fight the fight and not stop, right? So that's a great message, and I think it's a great start to this conversation. You literally come in as Sachin Tendulkar who would hit my ball for a six, right? So this is
Yeah,
great.
and he's my favorite batsman as well.
Mine too, totally, right? So Yuvraj, of course, as you said, that you put up that fight, and you've really taken life in your own hands, and you're really working hard to try and shape it up. Tell us, how did you discover Sagoon? You are in the UK. Sagoon is being built here in India. How did you come to know of Sagoon?
So when Sagoon was in the early stage, my sister, who happened to live in United States with my brother-in-law, and they were the early seed investors. And they kept telling me, when Sagoon becomes available in the mini IPO, don't forget. And I was always keeping an eye. I registered an account in Sagoon. So I was waiting for the opportunity.
Sure.
As soon as I heard Sagoon went into mini IPO, I think I'm not too sure, but I was the first investor from UK.
Wow, incredible.
So,
wow, amazing. Yeah, and that's a huge thing because it's always not the money, it's always the trust and the positivity of people that ultimately build some of the largest networks in the world. And of course, Sagoon by itself is a social network that is trying to create a lot more meaning in people's lives. So of course, that really matters to all of us right here, working hard and building this product, and of course everyone else in our ecosystem that is using Sagoon. So thank you for doing that. All right. So Yuvraji, I think it's been phenomenal that you being the first investor from the UK. I think that's a great achievement. And for everyone else's information, this is really important to know that that Yuvraji today is not just an investor in Sagoon, but he also believes in the mission and the vision so much that he is today coordinating Sagoon's growth in the UK. I believe, Yuvraj, that you had an event in the UK. Why don't you take us through what all you've done and how did you meet Govinda and so on and so forth?
So I was thinking all the time, such a great step that Govinda sir and Swati ji and Kavin sir has taken, and I was thinking to contribute something to them because it was a great step. They have left their normal comfort of life, so at least what can I do? So I started connecting to Govinda sir and Kavin sir, Swati ji, and I said, well, how can I, instead of financial support which I invested, what can I do here? And they asked me to promote the brand, which I did. I went, to my friends, families. We had a fantastic friend who was supporting me over here, and we've done 7-8 different events. We invited the founders over here in the UK, and it was a hassle. I'd done about 20,000 plus miles in those particular few months. Wow. And I was running around and telling people about Sagoon, the idea, the vision, and then inviting them and having those 7-8 seminars here in UK was incredible achievement. And we are very proud, such a beautiful mission, such a vision, and people have trusted us. And now I think from UK alone, we have 500 plus investors, which is a great achievement.
Absolutely, it is. I think this by in itself is a very strong example for everyone who would be watching this video tomorrow, and that is that it's not just about your money. It is actually about how much do you believe in the mission and the vision of the founders and all the people who are actually giving their life to build the future of social networking, and the world totally needs it. So Yuvraj, I think it's phenomenal that you, along with 500 plus investors in the UK, have truly made Sagoon where it is today. So today we have 2.2 million users around the world, and of course 1 million of them are right here in India. So big congratulations to you, and of course all the efforts that you've done. So going forward, tell us, what really excited you apart from the mission and the vision of Govinda and Swati and everyone else. What else really excited you about the whole philosophy of connect, share, and earn? What drew you to say that I must support them, I must grow this brand?
Well, so being an IT graduate, I happened to get involved into e-commerce and technology. Sure. And I was always, reading the news and media and everything. The psychological pressure that the social media has created is immense. And we all know that, the people who are educated know that the psychological world that has created is not great. It's not taking us to the right place. Sure. And Govinda's vision is to bring people out from that misery into a better place where people will be more productive. Social media, not just being social, but people spend 6-7 hours a day in social media. Why don't you be more productive? And why not we can create a social media which is positive environment? Why not we can lead people towards thinking positively? And that really inspired me. And I think, having said that, social media earns a huge trillions dollars revenue. And to be able to sell that revenue to the user is a great idea. And I think everywhere on this Sagoon's 3 pillar, connect, share, and earn, there is all win-win for the public, for the people, for everyone. It's a win-win situation, and I think that's where the core is, what inspires me.
That's fantastic. You know, it is so important not just to have investors on board for us, but it is of course so really important for Sagoon to ensure that we have the right kind of people on board supporting us and our mission, because ultimately it is this positivity, as you rightly said, that spreads. You know, it must spread so much more, that those billions of people out there in the world who are probably facing the same misery, the same anxiety, the same distress while being on social media, they might really get inspired and say that, wow, someone out there is trying to build a platform that is going to take us out of this equation, and we must support this. I think we are totally aligned.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. So I think we are totally
Absolutely.
on building the future of social networking. Great. So really my second last question to you, and I think this is going to be an important one. Look, you shared with us your life. You shared with us how you went from Assam in India to Nepal, and then you went to the UK. You've seen life in so many more dimensions, and of course you've fought hard, and here you are today. What's your message to so many more people out there in the world on the Sagoon network, not on the Sagoon network, such that they are also inspired by a normal story like you, by a normal guy like you, who has fought through in life and is today supporting a larger mission than himself?
Well, my message is very clear. Never give up and continue supporting to the right people with the right kind of vision and leadership. I'll tell you the reason, three main pillars why I invested in Sagoon. The first reason why I invested in Sagoon is to give that solidarity to the people who dream big. We are in a place, in a situation where, despite of having a big dreams, we cannot come out from this comfort zone. So people have left their normal life and then wanted to climb the Mount Everest, and I wanted to stand behind them as a solidarity. That is the first reason I invested in Sagoon, morally and heart and mind and money as well. The second reason I invested is I wish, because being born in Assam, the first song, the first anthem I remember in my head is Jana Gana Mana Adinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata. So, I want to see India as the number one IT village in the world. I really wish to see that. When I read these scriptures, the holy scriptures, 1,000 years ago, India used to be the number one largest economy in the world. What has gone wrong now? It's so many things. So, this is the first step or steps on top of steps that help India achieve its old situation again. What is lacking to be a number one IT industry or the IT village in the world? What is it that India is lacking to be a global leader in IT? There's nothing actually. When I see it, to be a global billion-dollar company, three things is really important. Number one, the vision and the leadership, which is right there in Govinda Dai's and Swatiji's hand. Number two, we need the user. And where do you go to find the user? Right there at home in India, we got 1 billion plus users.
Yes.
So, and in Southeast Asia, if we can even tap 10% of the internet users within Southeast Asia, this company can be more than $50 billion company. And then the third thing we need is a technician, the IT experts. The whole world is draining our IT experts from India. So we have it right there at home, everything. So there is no reason why India cannot be the IT leader in the world. And this is the second reason I invested in Sagoon, because I want to see Sagoon as an example for the the newcoming entrepreneurs. So who can start to dream, and things are possible, and Sagoon can lead the way. And this is the reason I invested. And the third reason I invested is I'm a very selfish person. I want to be financially free as soon as possible. And I think everybody should be financially free, because if you think if you ask a one question to the whole population in the world who is working, if you do not need to earn for your living, what do you do?
Absolutely.
People will say, I will leave my job and do something I love doing. And I mean, not to be able to do something that you love is a disaster to this world.
I agree.
So I think if people, strive towards become financially free, then they will do what they love doing, and the world will be a beautiful place.
Wow.
And I think investing in Sagoon, the potential that Sagoon has is immense. It could give me a return of 50 times to 500 times, and which is immense. If it really give me a return, like if it becomes like Snapchat, Spotify, Facebook, who knows? When Sagoon's platform is loved by millions in the world, you don't know, because this is the IT industry. It can happen.
Sure.
So the return could be phenomenal, and this is the reason I invested. I invest my money wisely. I know I diversify my portfolio, but Sagoon is one of the best possibility at the moment for me. And I also saw the risk. The risk is you could lose all your money, because if the company goes collapse or things doesn't go according to the plan, it could collapse. But I calculated what is the huge risk to lose a few lakhs or a few £1,000, or the dream of being a millionaire. And I thought not investing is a bigger risk than investing. So I invested in Sagoon. So, this is why, with the heart, mind, and financial, I'm supporting Sagoon at the moment.
That is incredibly brilliant. In fact, I must double up on this message for everyone watching this video that, look, everyone today investing in startups, while there is this conversation of the fact that startups are risky and so on and so forth, listen to this gentleman. He's a wise investor. He has said it himself that he is diversified. Now, a wise investor telling you that the greatest risk that you are taking today is not taking that risk of ultimately being financially free. What can set you financially free is equity. That's what exponentially grows, and that is precisely the opportunity in the form of Sagoon. And I want to again say that this is it. You cannot invest in Google anymore, of course, at the price that it was available 10 years or 20 years back. I don't know if Google was 10 years back, but or Snapchat or Facebook or Pinterest or any of these networks. Sagoon is that network that you have the ability and the choice to go out for. So I think Yuvrajji, it's been an incredible conversation. It's been a very pleasureful conversation for me personally, for a simple reason. I very strongly connect with your and your statement that India has all the opportunity. India has the talent. India has the size of the users. India has the money. It is just that all of us have to come together to unlock that risk in people's minds and say that, guys, look, we are working hard right here in this country and we will change things around. Not everything has to be built in Silicon Valley. I don't doubt that. They've done great things. They are doing great things, but it is really our time in the world, in history today. And I believe you, Yuvrajji, from the Vedas to the history that we've had, the world now is looking at India, and I think this is the next big opportunity for everyone. So
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being with us. I know we have taken a lot of your time. You are still in your car. This was a surprise call for you. And of course, I would just leave this last message to all of our investors, all of them who've already invested, all of them who would want to invest and be on this show. This is the Sagoon Investor Day show. By the way, this is also part of the Sagoon Rise and Shine campaign that we are launching in India May 1st onwards. Check out Sagoon app from your Google and ensure that you reach out to sagoon.com/invest and be part of this life-changing and world-changing opportunity. Um, Sir, thank you so much for being with us, and I wish you absolutely all the luck. We will.
Thank you so much. Thanks for this inspiration. Thanks for this powerful message. Before going, I'd like to add one thing.
Sure.
What I've noticed when I was doing the job hunt in UK, every single big IT industry, there were people, Indian or Southeast Asian people, working for this big industry. And even when I became a manager and then I hired people, the management community told me that people love hiring Indians, Southeast Asian, because they are a beautiful, hard worker people. They're really good followers. And I think if you go back when India was invaded by Mughal and then the British, the education system they introduced was to create a factory where the production, the people that come out will be a good follower. And that good follower people are the beautiful workers in the world. Now we need to switch. We need to be the leader. And we have the beautiful people who can work for us. Few leaders like Swati or Govindai, if they can lead us towards this destination, then things will change for India, definitely.
Absolutely, and I'm very, very sure if millions of us just put our hearts, minds, and our money together, as you rightly said, absolutely nothing. We've got 1.25 billion people here in this country.
You see, absolutely.
$1. I'm saying everyone puts in $1. That becomes $1.25 billion. Real money. We can change whatever that we want, right? This has been phenomenal. I love this conversation with you. Thank you so much. When we started this conversation, Swati told me this is going to be a surprise for you. Personally, for me, it's been of immense pleasure. I think I personally love meeting people who are self-made, who are fighters, and who are further on spreading that same culture, not just in their families, but in people around them. So as a last parting thought, and I think this is going to be really, really important, Yuvrajji, I totally know that, of course, you've been in India, you've been in Nepal, and now you're in the UK. Of course, you've seen so many people in India and Southeast Asia. If you have a message, a personal message to inspire the millions of Nepalese people across the world in the local language, which is Nepalese itself, would you want to say something to them in Hindi or in sorry? In Hindi or in Nepali language, both? Please go ahead.
Well, Parisho, thank you so much for giving me surprise. I'm never scared of surprise because I love surprises, because my life has been full of surprises. So it comes like a magic for me. So yeah, well, the message will be very clear, is think from your heart, analyze things with your mind, but always think from your heart, and then put your money where your heart says. So this is in English. In Nepali, I would say, I think I lost the touch of speaking Nepali. Nepali ma.
That's all right.
This happens when you continuously speak one language, then you have to switch back.
Of course.
So सबै नेपाली दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनीहरूलाई यो अपर्च्युनिटी एउटा यस्तो वन्डरफुल अपर्च्युनिटी हो जुन चाहिँ 2009 मा सुरु भएको एउटा स्ट्रगल स्टेजबाट सुरु भएर त्यसपछि यसैले एक किसिमको मार्केट लिँदै आएर अहिले 2 मिलियन युजर्स प्लस हामीसँग एन्ड्रोइड एप लन्च भइसकेको छ, हाम्रो आइफोन लन्च हुँदैछ, त्यसपछि स्मार्ट कार्ड आउँदैछ, हिन्दुस्तान टाइम्सको सहभागिता भयो। अब यसले नेक्स्ट फड्को मार्छ र यो फड्को मार्नुभन्दा पहिला आई थिंक तपाईहरुले पनि आफ्नो दिमाग लगाएर यदि इन्भेस्ट गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ भने गर्नुहोस्। एन्ड देन इन हिन्दी ये बहुत अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी है। सगुन का दिस मिनी आईपीओ राउंड बंद होने से पहले अगर आप इन्वेस्ट करो तो मुझे लगता है बिफोर नेक्स्ट फाइलिंग करने से पहले सगुन का वैल्यू 3 times बढ़ जाएगा। I feel that personally because of what the progress has Sagoon made. So don't lose out on this. Within a couple of months, your money will be 3 times more. So invest wisely, but make sure you think hard and then put the money where your heart says. Thank you.
That is incredible. And on that note, Yuvrajji, I would totally leave you to be with your wife. I totally know that she's calling you. You must run hard for it. Thank you so much for being with us. And anyone out there, if you want to be on this show, reach out to sagoon.com/invest, or of course on our contact page, leave us a message and we will reach out to you exactly in this surprise format. I wish you all incredible luck, Jai Sagoon.